Peru, 200-year-old alien corpses found. There may be ancient aliens on Earth? In October 2023, Peruvian customs at Lima International, 2 unusual packages were seized. When a lot of carefully peeled off, after the last layer of outer pack, 2 weird mummies appear in front of everyone. They are less than 1 meter long. The head is big and the body and limbs are very slender. Only 3 fingers on the hand. Doesn't look like a creature on Earth. At that time these 2 specimens were supposed, as a result it was detained at looks like this alien, pretty popular on the black market. By the suspect who carried this, an interrogation, they said the 2 mummies. 2 sentences that died with 200 years, alien remains. What? Also held a press conference. High-profile announcement of the, most likely true, but after only 3 months, he was slapped in the face, after comprehensive research by finally come to it. These 2 mummies are made of paper glue. Dolls made of metal and animal human skulls. It's a modern creation. Although this thing, but there are still many people who believe aliens must have been from a long time ago. Already harvested on Earth. During the winter in there is a novel called Shi Huang. There is such a story written in this book, said to be in 210 BC. That is the year Chin Shi Huang died. One night, there is a silver-white conch-shaped object. Landed in the Shanyang Palace. How deep is this? Wrapped around a pale blue halo. Even on the ground, the blue bricks on the wall are very illuminated. Shi Huang was awakened by this phenomenon, so I went out with an escort to check. I saw that conch-shaped utensil. The top is slowly opening. A height came out from inside. A giant about 10 feet. He is covered with the feathers of colorful birds and beasts. Ears actually grow on both sides of the neck. 2 eyes bright like the sun. But what about but like a newborn child. This strange-looking man calls himself the people of Wanku. Say you are from the place where the sun sets in the salt, the kind of conch-shaped boat he was in. Lumbo Chow. Can walk on the bottom of the sea. Chin Shi Huang talked with him for a long, even talk about ancient times. When the world was something happened, just this giant against thousand. Description of the event, as clear as he saw it with his own eyes. The giant, he was able to walk on air when he was young. 10,000 miles in a day. Later with age. Just sit still. Can see things beyond heaven and earth. I wonder where this giant came from. What did his country is where the salty pool falls. 90,000, where 10,000 years here are regarded as a day. They have dark nights, so they went to mine. Burn the glowing stone on the side of, to replace sunlight. This stone is very dazzling, just a piece the size of a grain of, light up the whole hall. In the end, Chin Shi Huang was completely convinced. He firmly believes that the giant is a real god. It sounds fanciful. However, there are many indeed the aliens we know now. Very similar to the conch-shaped spaceship the giant was in. Isn't it the current flying giant eyes are very bright. This is all aliens in sci-fi movie. Exactly. If these detail. It's all imagined by the author, then his imagination is too rich. And more or less predictable. If the content of these, not all imagined, part of it comes from reality. That would most likely mean there may be races that are far more developed than before humans. Already living on Earth. And it's still under the sea. Not just our country, other ancient civilizations, there have also been some impossible, strange traces of for example in the Mayans, official cover engraving of Bagal U. It's incomprehensible. This carving process is super so many details can be seen clearly. Screen Chinese, much like sitting on a complex mechanical device, the middle eye seems to be focusing. Look at a looking glass or something, with a lot of status quo devices on the head. The movement, like operating or driving. It feels like the king is piloting a mechanical space to know that Bagal Eye in this fresco. But the Mayan kingdom that lived 400 years, then we were still in the Tang dynasty, such an advanced device so early. Do you think this Mayan? He himself is not from Earth. Not just the Mayan the Nazca civilization also left a magical trail, and the area is quite large. This is the famous Nazca lines. Just over 2,000. I don't know who uses the Earth as a canvas. Draw a lot of super huge weird patterns. Calculate. Patterns of the Nazca. The total area exceeds 500 square km. Who can see what is described in these patterns? I don't know, like a giant hummingbird. There are monkey-like creatures. There are also large spiders about 46. Exact value. There are. I feel like I can't do it with the scientists. This should be Nazca, a very unique way of sacrificing the universe. But many details in it have not been explained. Look, want to draw such a big picture with such precision. Someone has to be in command from the air. Can do. Because you can't see the whole picture of the painting. Can't start. And more than two. What plane? Hot air balloon. Aircraft. None of these things have been invented yet. And not even if there is. You can't fly. You also have to hover in the sky. Because when you fly, you can't command. So someone said, seems like only a flying saucer can do that. You see, flying saucers are usually, right? What if the people who drew these pictures made fly? Then it is very likely that the Nazca, he wasn't painted by but ancient aliens living on Earth. Hey, this view is really not baseless. For example, look at this. Kind of like something, isn't this an alien? Maybe a self-portrait of the creator. There are traces earlier than the Nazca. That's the Wandjina rock painting. Measured according to probing, he was 10,000 years ago. Appeared on Earth, found in what is now Kimber, Australia. Among these ancient rock paintings and has an alien-like image. It can be seen that their bodies are off-white. The brain is also big. No, the eyes are two black hole, and surprisingly big. There is another circle around the eye, linear texture. I don't know, the nose and mouth seem to be connected. Just look at this thing and it's definitely not human. So, others have made the point that this is not an alien. This should be something like a gas mask. Although it does look simple, but this gas mask was 10,000, something that shouldn't be there. And these rock paintings are quite well preserved. The color didn't fall off. After further investigation, this is the local Aboriginal. They would periodically redraw the paintings, as if they had the mission to preserve these rock paintings. So what did they do it for? These traces scattered around the world seems to be proving, in our wave of human, in the thousands of years of, even earlier, it's not just us humans on Earth, an advanced intelligent life. Actually, I've been thinking about the mummies found in ancient Egypt. Are they really made of human corpses? Is it they lived in Egypt thousands of years ago? Ancient aliens. But only similar. 3 bodyweight kind of to become a mummy. Hey, if that's the case, it's scary to think about it. Because dehydration doesn't mean he's just hydrate under certain conditions. Maybe have life again. Why are these native people dehydrated? Very like they are to hide from powerful enemies or extremely harsh natural environment. Did they have a premonition? In the next few thousand, the Earth's environment will be affected. The day of destruction is not. So dehydrate yourself. After our wave of civilization, then he was and the number of mummies found in Egypt, a rough estimate is hundreds of thousands. This is simply Baiju and Hokaji. One day, if they collectively start swimming in the water, then we'll be busy. Of course, these are just my brain holes. There's no evidence. Believe, with the continuous progress of human science, these ancient traces can be reasonable explanation. Are there really ancient aliens? This truth will slowly emerge. Okay, thanks for watching this video. See you next time.